After nightfall, you join Armand at his home on the other side of Paris. He has promised you a surprise of some sort. It had better be that woman's head in a bag. You wait until late evening before you walk to Armand's home. He told you it's something special for you, and it isn't related to politics. The very possibility of this brings a giggle to your lips. You're fairly certain that just being to engage Armand has made you more informed about the political landscape of France than some ministers in Versailles. You can't help talking about it, and you soak up knowledge without even trying to do it. When you finally arrive, you knock at the door, but there's no answer. Wait for a while before knocking again, more insistently this time. Come in, the door is unlocked. You hear him call from inside. Well, that's certainly unlike him already. Should men conspiring against the king leave their doors unlocked? You step inside and find the house more cleaned up than the last time you were here. While it still has the Spartan feeling of an outpost, at least all the books and papers have been organized into reasonable piles. Armand calls from the direction of the kitchen. Please make yourself at home, ma chérie. You manage to find a seat at the dining room table, which has been cleaned off. It has been covered with a fresh tablecloth. There's a bottle of red wine already uncorked, which has been left out to breathe on the table. God damn. After a few minutes, Armand steps out of the kitchen holding 2 clay bowls. I hope you're hungry for cassoulet? Well then, but why are you looking at me like that? Oh, I was just admiring your new choices in fashion. Are you planning on making yourself decent anytime soon? Armand, what happened to your shirt? God, he has heart-shaped chest hair. You little bitch. Oh, I'm admiring your new choices in fashion. I'm glad you find it appetizing, he says, then puts the bowls in your spots and takes a seat. He pauses to pour you both some wine. Looking more closely at the bottle, you immediately recognize it as the same vintage you shared at Le Cine the night before Armand left for Paris. The night feels like a lifetime ago. To long-awaited reunions chasing our dreams, he toasts. You both clink glasses and drink deeply. It tastes exactly as you remember and brings a flood of memories with it. You dig into the hearty stew of duck, sausage, and white beans. It's not hot cuisine, but it's flavorful and satisfying. As you can tell, I've learned how to cook myself. At the risk of sounding arrogant, I have to say that I've taken to it quite well. Though no matter how good I'll get, I must admit I'll always miss Camille's cooking. That little maid is astonishing in the kitchen. I certainly envy you for still having her. Speaking of which, how are you finding her? She's an absolute delight. She's always so unusual. Does that ever stop? If you miss her so much, you could always visit. No, she's delightful. Ooh. Isn't she, though? There were days when I thought her absolutely mad, but I was eventually charmed by her indefatigable optimism. Game table with Armand. The conversation dies for a moment as you both finish your meals. At the very end, you use a small hunk of bread to sop up the remaining stew. It tastes still absolutely delightful. I wanted to thank you one last time for joining us at our event. I promise to stay away from politics, so I'll not delve into the details, but it was lovely to have your support. Seeing you there made me proud. I also wanted to say I'm sorry about Johanna. I'm worried about her. After that night, I think she's been getting worse, not better. I know she's not given a good account of herself to you so far, but when we first met, she wasn't like this. She was adventurous, daring, and always so full of energy for the society and our plans. She was inspiring, like nothing was impossible. Then again, whenever you came up in conversation, she would always find a way to switch subjects, and I just assumed she was more interested in our work than personal affairs. You dumb himbo! The night after event, she and I had a serious quarrel. She started screaming about everything she'd sacrificed. She kept saying that this was her last and only chance. She's barely spoken to me since then. I understand at least some of it. She single-mindedly financed this whole venture. I suppose that gives her the right to be controlling. To the devil with her, you're not her servant. What do you think she meant by a last and only chance? My gossip monger, that's what I'm going to go for. He pauses to think, dredging up old memories and viewing them in a new light. While I don't know for certain, my theory is that she has bankrupted herself funding the society. She must also believe that some great reward awaits her at the end of this, and if this fails, she will be left with nothing. You've gained a little favor with Armand. Together the two of you nearly finish the bottle of wine without skipping a beat. Armand produces another one, nearly identical. He refills both glasses. Dinner brings with it an almost overpowering sense of familiarity, like the conversations you had in the village together only took place but a few minutes ago. And now you're just picking up exactly where you left off. You look up from your wine to see Armand staring at you with ferocious intensity. It appears the dinner's over, yet I believe we are still hungry. Yeah, no, you deal with your side chick before I give you anything. I still feel like it would be best to wait. As you wish, my dear. I am but a slave to your whims and the throes of passion, he says. He stands up, begins to clear off the table. As you takes your plate, he gives you a light kiss on the forehead before departing to the kitchen. You gain favor with Armand. Ma chérie, he calls from the kitchen. If you don't mind, I'm going to take some of these leftovers upstairs to Johanna's room, so she has something to eat when she gets back. It might serve as a decent olive branch. You shrug and leave him to it. You're not exactly dying of thirst after all. Upstairs, you hear the sound of breaking pottery, followed by a string of frantic cursing. He runs downstairs, eyes wide with shock. Johanna's room is completely empty. She must have moved out completely in the middle of the night. That is not a good sign. I'll look into this later, but I'm going to tell you a secret just in case. He hands you a letter from his pocket before continuing in a low voice. Johanna Dujardin's real name is Johanna von Holberg. She doesn't know yet that I've learned this about her. Look down at the letter and see the name Johanna von Holberg at the signature, but you can't read the rest of it as it's written in German. I've researched the name a little on my own, and to my knowledge it appears that the von Holbergs are an Austrian noble family in deep decline. It might explain why she started the society, as she might hope that it could reverse her family's fortunes. I still believe in the righteousness of our cause, but it's likely what has kept her so driven. You think of the signet ring of hers you found in the house. The mysterious sigil is likely her family's crest. She wanted Armand to have it because it would be enough to have the people of Austria help her. That means her family must be relatively well known. I'm telling you this because I'm worried she might do something extreme. Johanna maybe a lot of things, but forgiving is not one of them. If something occurs, we should be prepared. Merde. And just start reaching out to everyone else in the society. I need to make sure that they're still safe. I'm sorry, ma chérie, but I need to depart immediately. If there's any consolation, I'll be able to walk you halfway home. Outside, the two of you walk together in an awkward silence. With the evening has certainly taken some sharp turns. Finally, as you find yourself about halfway home, Armand turns to you and says, I believe this is where we must part ways. Good night, my love. Please be sure to stay safe. The kiss on your cheek, he departs into the night to rally his fellow Habsburgians. As he disappears into the darkness, you wonder when you'll see him next. Our fiancé's side hoe went crazy.